My name is Brian Mayer. I'm an attorney practicing family law throughout Southern California. And today I'm going to be answering the question of how to effectuate service on someone when you don't know where they are or how to get a hold of them. And this comes up in family law cases, especially when there is someone's trying to get divorced and they haven't seen their spouse in months or sometimes even years, and they don't know how to find them. So they go to the courthouse and they file their petition to dissolve the marriage, but they have to serve the other side and they don't know how to find them. Now, the answer to this question is through something called service by publication. And the rules differ a little bit from state to state. So I'm going to talk about how it works in California. But basically, service by publication is when someone is considered legally served by running an advertisement in a publication like a newspaper. And so the first thing that has to happen is first you go ahead and you file your petition or your motion or whatever it is you're filing. And then you have to exercise due diligence to try to locate the person who needs to be served. And what that means is you have to look for them at their last known address, call them at any telephone numbers that you've had for them. In this modern age, if you have an email address, reach out to them by email and request their address. If you can, if you know where family members or friends are who might be able to locate them, to use those contacts. And basically, you have to use due diligence so that when it comes time, you can say, yes, I genuinely tried to find this person. I was not able to find this person. Okay. So once you have once you've exercised that due diligence and you have looked for that person and you have not been able to find them, then the next thing to do is to go to court and get permission to serve by publication. It's simple enough. You go to the court, you file a motion, you explain to the court by declaration everything you've done to try to locate the person, and you declare that in that exercise of due diligence, they simply cannot be found. And what the court will do then is the court will give you permission to serve them by publication. And this involves publishing a newspaper, and there are rules in terms of number of days and how many times it has to be published. The court will have you run this publication, and it will be in a location where the person who you're trying to reach is most likely going to be able to see it, or at least someone who knows them is most likely going to be able to see it. So, for example, if they live in Los Angeles, then you would need to run something like this in some publication like the Los Angeles Times. If you lived in Sacramento, you'd want to run it in the Sacramento Bee. And actually, if you look in the newspaper and you flip through it, you will see that there's always a section of legal notices, and there is these court form looking papers, and you may have seen those before and thought, why are people running these? Well, there must be a reason. Okay, and you turn the page and you're on to the cartoons because the comics, because that's why we all read the newspaper. But in reality, those in most cases are examples of service by publication. So once that's been done, the responding party has once that's been completed, the responding party has a certain number of days to actually file a response. Then they're considered served. Usually it's 30 days. And if they haven't served, then at that point, you can go ahead, you can file for a default judgment. That is, you can file as though they've been served by other means and they simply chose not to serve, and you can move forward with your case that way. It doesn't mean that you automatically win your case, but what it does mean is that at that point, the other side is considered to have forfeited their chance to be heard on the matter. And most importantly, you can move forward, get the order that you need, and move on with the rest of your life. So that is how you serve someone when you don't know where they are. Again, my name is Brian Mayer. I'm an attorney practicing family law throughout Southern California. I hope this has been helpful.